Coming up today on JBYC. Oh, wait.
Do
Now I messed it up. All right.
We're so wacky and zany today.
All right. We're getting... What a week off does to you. Coming up today on JBYC's Sandwich News.
Do you talk to yourself? Yes.
I didn't prepare anything.
All that and more on today's episode of JBYC. Why does this happen to me every time? JBYC.
Jilted because you couldn't.
Loco cop? Locomotive? What does that even mean?
So you're gonna wear that outfit into the jungle? Great Caesar's ghost, you're gonna...
Hey everybody, it's Monday, June 17th, 2019. I'm Bobby Frankenberger and you're listening to episode 12
Okay, we're recording.
of JBYC. Yes, we're recording. Shush.
He's not saying anything.
And
We're not
I'm
saying
going
that.
to continue to
Not us.
talk as I disable my network. I'm talking. Is it still recording? Offline.
What's
You're
happening?
doing
Back
something.
online.
Playing
You're playing audio that I recorded.
I'm coming back online. And now I'm
What's
back online. Okay, now I
happening?
can actually see what the fuck happened.
It's the sound trap thing. We're stuck in a sound trap.
Hold on. Seriously, how did that happen?
We're in the sound trap. Bob, get us out. Now we know to be very careful about what we record on Soundtrap.
Wait a minute.
I just clicked stop on it and it stopped.
We're going with it,
What
guys.
happened?
We're going with it. Here we go. The music is playing and
processing.
we're going. It's hey everyone, it's Monday. Like this is a show where three people who've been friends for longer than any of us care to remember get together, talk about what's been on our minds the past week. This week's theme is sandwiches. How are you guys doing?
Remember?
I'm feeling a little BLT today, Bob.
Uh,
Little on the
Ben,
BLT side.
a little
Tired.
yeah.
Been a little tired.
I feel like this show is just doomed not to happen.
Burnt
That's such like an old
tomatoes.
South Carolina person.
Yeah. I'm BLT.
mean.
Look, my glasses. My glasses are fogging. I'm so like anxious and laughing.
My glasses.
My glasses are fogging. Let me go ahead. Not that it even matters anymore. I'm going to introduce my co-host. First up is Ryan. Ryan, let's just get this going.
Hello.
How's it going? How are you?
Good. I'm wondering why Soundtrap did that. Also, it's saying processing 0%, so I don't think it's ever going to let me out.
You're in the sound trap.
You're in the sound trap. Well, you know what? Thanks to Soundtrap, we got an explicit rating on this episode.
Did we say a bad word?
In that recording.
I did
there
in the
was-
previous recording.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it because there was like 10 people by the time I got to it.
And
How
then
did it double up like that? It's so weird.
that was very weird. And then we of course have EJ American Johnson there with us. He's the one you heard in that errant recording that played.
Wait, it couldn't have been me because I'm not playing my audio.
I don't.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't think anyone will ever know what happened.
Ryan, you like almost never have a southern accent, but it just came out a little bit right there.
Oh, really?
I guess out of first.
My audio.
You're like,
No, I can't
I'm
even do it
not
on
playing
purpose.
my audio.
My audio.
Bobby?
So we're talking about sandwiches today, and
Yeah, we sure
I'll
are.
tell you what, folks. Everybody who's listening, I want you to know, straight from my mouth to your heart, I love sandwiches.
That's good. I like sandwiches a lot too. I think my favorite food is a burger, and that's a sandwich.
Pasta. Pasta's my favorite food.
That's a debate. We could have that debate. Ryan's introduced us to that debate, but I will tell you, I love sandwiches so much. And also in Vietnam, they have these sandwiches called banh mi, and they're really delicious. But it's like a double-edged sword because I love banh mi, but it's like the only kind of sandwich that's readily available in Vietnam.
What?
Is that what we
I
call
love.
banh mi in America?
Yes.
Okay.
Explain what banh mi is. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So banh mi literally means bread, but it's a Vietnamese sandwich. So they just have like the same word for bread and sandwich. And
Uh-oh. Does that
When
lead to
you-
confusion?
it did on my very first day in Vietnam because I wanted a piece of bread only because I had
Right.
I had some peanut butter and stuff and I wanted to make my own sandwich. So there's all these bread shops and like people selling bread, like sandwiches and all that, all over the place. So I went to this old lady, and she was selling banh mi's, and she had all this bread. Delicious, by the way. Vietnamese bread is so good, and it's fresh baked every day. Like they have bakeries all over the place. It's like very cool, and it's so cheap. It's like 5 cents for a big ass baguette. Literally. So
A BAB?
I go up to her. Yeah, and I've got my little Google Translate app, and I feel pretty confident because I had lived in Korea for a year, and I figure I know what I'm doing with this stuff. So I go up to her, and the shop says like banh mi, and then I pull out my app and I type in bread, and it says banh mi, and I'm like, well, that's weird. It's the same word. So anyway, and I was just like, can I have banh mi? And she was like, yeah, and she starts making it, and I was like, no, I just want just the banh mi, and it was impossible to communicate with body language.
So, well, then
failed.
how do you express that then? You just have to.
I've learned you say banh mi khom, and khom means khom literally means either no or none, or not.
Oh, so you're
So
getting
you
the
s-
bread with nothing.
I've asked a lot of Vietnamese people why, and they all don't know. They don't think about it that way. They don't think about it at all. It's just it's just the word for only bread is banh mi khom,
Right.
and that's just the way it is.
It's like the etc. It's like the birth of the etc. You know, like
Yeah.
and
You can't expect us to
per
remember what we
se.
talked about
So you
several
need
episodes ago.
bread per se. Remember, per se means by itself.
Yeah.
So
I
you
need bread per se.
Yeah.
I bread comb.
Yeah.
I need a bread comb.
A bread comb.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's
But
good.
but the last thing I'll say is that I miss sandwich variety because I think variety is the spice of sandwich life.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sad.
Well,
I guess, yeah.
you should go
Yeah.
to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. You can get lots of varieties.
What? Is that a joke about Five Guys?
No, I
Or you
mean,
just-
you build your
did
own
we get a
sandwich.
sponsorship?
No.
They
This
only
episode
use-
brought to
they
you
only
by Five Guys.
Hold on, there's not variety. It's burgers, hot dogs, and French fries.
And
Like,
you can get it your way. It's like they
That's
stole it
Burger
from
burger,
Burger
though. It's
King.
still a burgie, whatever you get.
I guess you're
Did you
right.
call it a burgie, Ryan?
Yeah, it's a thing I got from a streamer at one point.
I guess you're right though. I guess basically Burger King paved the way for burger making across the nation and the world, really. Now
I don't
you-
understand
now
why it's
everyone
such a big
expects
deal.
to
Everyone's
get-
making a big deal about burger customization. It's just like I want it with ketchup or without, with mustard or without. Look, it's not a big deal.
That's what I want to know.
not that impressed.
Before Burger King came along, could you not do that? Could you not just say I want my burger this way?
It
Yeah.
was an affront to the system of burger efficiency.
Well, that's what
I'm guessing
McDonald's
that-
is all about, right? So maybe that's really what it was. Maybe it was a dig on McDonald's. They were like,
But there's no. That might have been true in the 50s, but come on.
Yeah,
there's no
there's
place in the
no
world
way.
today where it's like, hey, I want a burger with. Please, can you hold the mustard? No.
As long as we've been
will
alive,
not.
that's not been a case. Yeah.
yeah. Well, they certainly don't say have it your way anymore. But when we were a kid, they did.
No, now they have a creepy king.
When was the last time you saw that king? I haven't seen him in a long
I
time.
don't know. He's hiding somewhere.
He's
is
in
invited.
he was in a Burger King in Vietnam actually, and it was was
Like a
Yes,
picture
like
of him, or he
actually
was
walking
actually
around.
there.
They had a poster. And
Yeah.
it looked to
So he's
me
not
like
on
they were
vacation
reusing
over there.
photos from like the old campaign from when they had the Burger King sneak campaign.
Yeah. That was
Hold the
height
pickles,
of
hold
the
the
Burger King
lettuce.
campaign. Yeah.
Special orders don't upset us.
So-
I know. I'm remembering this.
So I was
we ask is that
sick.
you let
So
us
you may have noticed, savvy
Serve
listeners
it your way.
noticed that we didn't have an episode last week. I was sick,
Have it your way.
and you might even be able to hear some deepness to my voice.
Have
No,
it
it's
your
taking
way.
forever to get over it. I like this.
Burger
I like
King.
this back music. Like I'm digging
That's
it.
what I'm trying to do. I'm backing you up.
Yeah, so sorry for that. Sometimes you get sick. I actually hate missing shows, and I would have done it, but I had completely lost my voice. I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Although Ryan suggested that I should have just if my soundboard was good enough, I would have been able to do it anyway.
Why?
Because I would have just
What's
used
your soundboard got?
soundboard sounds.
Oh yeah. If you had a good enough like you can make like a interface for it. So you can
Yeah.
just. What does Stephen
I mean-
Hawking got? need
You
that.
have he has what Stephen Hawking has, kind of thing. You can use the Gatto thing, the Stream Deck.
Yeah. The Stream Deck.
What? Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, you could make a revolutionary Stream Deck soundboard. They have the XL out. Did you see that? I'm really
Yeah.
wanting.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. We've already advertised for Burger King, McDonald's, and Five Guys. I don't think we need to.
Free sponsorship.
Yeah.
Stream Decks are kind of
Oops.
cool things, though, chat.
Yeah, they are. One thing I want to make sure that I mention before we get going on to the proper part of the show. There's no proper part of this show anymore. But before we get going on to the rest of the show, I wanted to make mention this week. Starting on Friday, if anybody happens to be has checked out the other stuff that I do on the Shadowcasters Network, we're in the middle of our fundraiser, but that's not why I'm not trying to shill that. What I want you guys to know about is that starting on Friday at 4 p.m., the Shadowcasters Network, we do a yearly 36-hour streamathon where we stream content for 36 hours straight, and that's going to start on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're going to go for 36 hours. And it's all sorts of like tabletop board gaming and RPG content, a little bit of video games late in the middle of the night, but it's a lot of tabletop RPGs and board games and some stuff about stuff like that. So if you're interested in stuff like that, you should check them out on Twitch, twitch.com/ShadowcastersNetwork.
Do you have to bring your own dice, or will you have dice that people can use?
You can roll your own dice on your table, but you're going to be watching us roll our digital dice. So.
What about you? Do you bring your own dice, or do you use
I don't use dice.
virtual dice?
We use virtual dice mostly because real dice on a table are loud.
I don't trust those virtual dice.
Well, you know. What I can't
I
say
want
anything.
The real thing.
I just read a thing recently that dice balancing is way like people. The most common method for checking the fairness of dice apparently isn't as good as people thought it was. So the dice that you've been using might not be as fair as you think they are.
Yeah, I could tell you that. I've been to Vegas. They're not fair at all.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Ryan, you're terrifying, and I love it.
Yeah.
You actually don't look much different. I never realized how much you look like the Burger King.
For our podcast listeners, Ryan's got the Burger King over his face on the stream now. So.
It's like it could be your brother for sure.
I think it kind of works because your video's out of sync again this episode. So.
It's every time we switch regions, yeah.
Oh, is it?
That's
Maybe
your new thing, Ryan. That's
So
your
we
new
can hear
trademark.
him. We can hear American, but then my audio goes out of sync because
Yeah.
we live across the world, the internet. That's what I was gonna say.
The world.
I guess that's true. Here we go.
Dang it, Bobby, that's exactly what we don't want.
So let's have. I was looking through the news about sandwiches, and there's sandwich news. Do you guys want to hear some
Okay.
sandwich news?
I'm so excited. I can't explain to you how excited I am.
Yes, regale the king of your sandwich news.
So I'm suddenly like really different and afraid that I'm not going to please you. So Fox News reported that KFC.
No, I don't like them.
That's some biased sandwich reporting you're about to drop on us. huh?
KFC is to test the vegan chicken sandwich called the Imposter in the UK. Now, I want to stop right there. The Imposter, really? Like, what are they?
Well, the burger is called the Impossible Burger.
But they're calling theirs the Imposter.
I assume
Because
they're
nobody
doing
has
it
any
based off of that.
ideas. What's
Yeah.
the Impossible Burger? Is that like a thing in the U.S.?
Yeah,
Like
it's in the U.S.
McDonald's
I can't remember who does it. Also, it actually apparently tastes like a burger, just has a different mouthfeel.
I've
Is it vegan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had it before.
vegan?
My
Okay.
sister's a vegan, and my sister's one of them vegans, and she came and visited one time, and we were having burgers, so she got some, and they tasted all right. Yeah, it's just like Ryan said, the texture is a little different. It's pretty close though. I mean, it's
I love veggie burgers. What's your take on veggie burgers, folks?
I like veggie burgers. I like black bean,
I
a
make
good black
really
bean
good
burger.
Yeah, like a black bean
burgers are
burger with
good.
lots of garlic and
Mouthfeel's the right term.
Yeah, mouthfeel.
Chat.
So anyway, let's see what they say.
It is a dis-
This
KFC
crown
is
is heavy. I'm taking it off. All right, go
It
ahead.
says the Colonel is
feel the
going
mouth.
vegan. KFC is debuting a plant-based chicken sandwich at its stores in the United Kingdom later this month. The new faux chicken offering called the Impossible will feature a vegan chicken fillet from fake meat brand Quorn, Quorn. So it's not the Impossible Burger.
So it's
not
quinoa? Or
the late
quinoa? I don't know
90s.
why I did that.
Is the
Yeah.
late 90s punk band or whatever? The
Featured
pop
by
punk band,
Korn. It's not real meat.
Quinoa's
It's like the Metalocalypse brand deal kind of thing, but way less cool
Yeah, yeah.
and way more out of date.
It's coated in KFC's unique 11 herbs and spices, along with a layer of
those
vegan mayo.
I like the band corn and popcorn. I like all kinds of corn. All kinds of corn.
Oh, that's a Brack reference, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going back.
Going way
We're going
back.
back today.
It'll reportedly start rolling out in the UK in June 17th. Today! It's rolling out today as part of a 4-week testing period. So,
They're trying to recuperate that veganism. You know, they're like, oh, we know we have like some of the worst farm factory practices in the entire world, but look, now we also sell vegan burgers.
no, look, they're vegan.
That's not gonna work. Like, I mean, come on. I think people that are vegan are like, so like if you're a vegan, then you're really conscious about what you eat. Like nobody's just like casually a vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes a lot of
Yeah.
dedication and effort, and you have to like really. I have a lot of respect for vegans. I really do. Like being totally sincere, they have to make a lot of sacrifices, and it's difficult for them, and it's usually much more expensive to eat. Like you could buy cheap vegan food, but if you want to eat like, you know, conveniently and stuff, it's more expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you have so much fewer options. So the point is, it takes some dedication to be a vegan. And no, I can't imagine any vegan who's going to be like, oh yeah, well KFC's cool now. They also sell a vegan burger. No, that's like not enough. I guess that the one benefit for the world might be that like, oh, now normal people might try it, but I'm not buying it. I don't
Yeah.
think it's just a
So
you're
you're
gonna
calling
get
it a
some headlines.
gimmick.
It's a gimmick. They're gonna get some headlines and they're gonna retire it in like 3 months.
Well, for sure it's a gimmick. They've said it's only a 4-week test run, so if people don't like it's not like I think it's very opaque that they're not doing this to be somehow
okay.
moral.
So that makes it
Yeah, but
sound.
Americans talking about
that
like
makes
the
it-
Impossible Burger too, right? Like the whole idea of everything like this.
Sure, yeah.
I
But
thi-
no,
I
cer-
assume.
Sound to you
certainly
like
there are
it's a-
companies that make vegan food because that's what they believe in, right?
Yeah, but not KFC.
Well, no. I'm
They
not
throw
saying
baby
it.
chicks into a freaking meat grinder. I mean, they're like
Mm.
evil. But does it not sound to you like it's a hostage situation with the 4 weeks? Like buy these vegan burgers in 4 weeks,
Yeah.
or the chickens
Or the
get it.
chicken, or we're going back to slaughtering chickens.
Oh, I didn't even think about
Vegans.
that.
Yeah.
All right, vegans, this is your time. Put your money where your mouth is.
I'm so used to dumb things like the McRib, where it's like it's only around for a little limited time, so I don't even think about
The
that.
Disney Vault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh
Greatest
my.
scam of all
Vault, or
time.
even-
Oh,
oh, I
don't
hate
even get
that,
me
yeah.
started. The
Yeah, you have children.
yeah, no kidding. The rigmarole I had to go through to get The Lion King on DVD. I mean, man, that's outrageous. How about this? Genius. Here's another thing. Genius mom invents freezer-friendly sandwiches that will thaw in a lunchbox just in time to eat at school.
Isn't that just a sandwich? What? I don't
No, it's like
understand.
What is this
it's a
headline?
proper bento. That's what it is. Like when you have it stacked correctly, and by the time it gets like lunchtime, it's the right temperature kind of stuff.
Let me just make sure I didn't read this wrong. Genius mom
a
invents
bento
freezer-friendly sandwich
A bento.
The
that will
Benwich.
thaw in a lunchbox
Benwich.
just in time to eat at school. Virginia.
Santo.
I like that.
A Virginia mother has created a clever solution for time-crunched parents who want to send their kids to school with a healthy lunch. Blah blah blah.
How do you
And
monetize
it's just
that?
a sandwich that's been frozen. Didn't the like
Okay, don't
Smuckers
go
people
full-
figure this
full
out?
Person, calm down.
No. Hold on. The Smuckers people did this a long time. This isn't even new.
Smuckers people.
No, you get the peanut butter and jelly frozen sandwiches.
He's off the rails.
Is Smuckers like the NASA of sandwiches?
Yeah, the Smuckers people. No, you know what I'm
The
saying.
Smuckers
Like,
people have been pioneering sandwich
I
technology.
think it's a
for
stretch to
50
call
years.
this lady a genius mom. She just froze a sandwich and slapped a label on it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the mom. It's everything to do with the report. Like they don't.
Yeah,
did they
yeah.
not explain? Is it a product you can buy?
Yes.
Like you buy a.
It's
Okay,
prepackaged. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of sandwich is it? Are we talking
Turkey
like a
and
prime rib
cheese.
sandwich?
Let's see.
We're not talking gourmet. It's for kids' lunches.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. What problem is being solved?
Cheddar mozzarella, cheddar turkey, PB and grape jam, which is the Smucker's thing.
Like, how can you not throw a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a bag, unfrozen? Like, have you ever put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in your bag in the morning, and then you get lunch, and you're like, oh, it's rotten again?
I rule
What the
this
hell?
silly.
What?
She says.
Burger King,
she
we
says.
need your help.
She says, "quote."
This is not a sandwich.
She says, "quote. It can be in a
Burger
school
King, you know what you're
lunchbox."
talking about? Shut up.
All right. She says it can be in a school lunchbox, or mom throws it in her purse when she takes the kids to pool. Oh my god.
Pool?
Yeah, but
To
okay.
the pool?
Yeah.
But the
Like the pool
idea
is
is
swimming
that
pool?
like, why would you need it? Why wouldn't you just like have a normal temperature sandwich and have it normal temperature for half a day? It's not going to be bad by then, right?
well, I
I
guess
mean, generally
mayo could
speaking,
go
the-
bad.
Okay, no, it's not. That people are so like paranoid about mayo. Mayo's gonna go bad fast if you made it yourself with like a lemon and
Egg yolks and
I
However
forgot
you
what was
make
in
mayo.
mayonnaise.
Yes. Aioli. Yeah.
Are we all in agreement? This is a question. This is a forum submitted question to you. What is the optimal temperature for a standard United States of America sandwich?
98.7 degrees.
in my
Yeah,
mouth.
because it's got to be in my mouth. I want that sandwiches in my mouth.
Yeah, I think if it's colder than my mouth, then I'm okay.
Okay, so I submit to you, Bob, that a great temperature for a sandwich would be room temperature.
Yeah, I'm fine with room
would you
temperature
agree with that?
sandwiches. Yeah, I have no problem with that. My wife is always like,
it's-
we're having a party, and we have like chicken pieces, like chicken tenders,
yeah.
and she'll be like, should we? It's like an hour before the party. Should we put the food out now, or should we keep it in the fridge and wait? I'm like, it's what? It's not gonna.
Well, so your wife prefers the food to be colder?
No, she's
Fresher.
afraid if you leave it out, then it'll be bad. Like it'll go bad.
Well, she's a medical professional. Maybe you should listen to your wife.
Truth.
How did this turn around so
She
fast?
knows all
Okay,
about
so
bacteria.
let's move on. To evade here's another
Did
one.
your wife invent that frozen sandwich?
I don't
you
want
check?
I don't want to talk about
The
it.
king says, listen to your doctor.
Here's an interesting thing. To evade pre-prohibition drinking laws, New Yorkers created the world's the world's worst sandwich. Have you heard about this?
Different.
You heard about this?
No, you're telling
Well,
us
the world's
about it.
first sandwich probably is the world's worst sandwich by now.
Well, that's
How
kind
about
of
Earl like that.
That's kind of on point because apparently during pre-prohibition there were laws in New York about like the type of establishment that could sell alcohol, and they had to also serve food. So bars would have these sandwiches that they made, never intending for anyone to eat them. You would order a drink and it would come out with a sandwich. They would put it down, give you your drink, and then take the sandwich back up to the bar. And apparently, by some reports, these sandwiches would get moldy and hard and make rotations for weeks at a time. And I just thought that's a pretty interesting little thing.
Oh, I don't necessarily think mold
Bill, have
on
you
your
seen the
bread's that
sandwich?
bad.
Where'd
I can't find the sandwich.
Where'd the sandwich go? Oh no, this sandwich is pretty good.
Bill, no! We didn't explain to Bill about the sandwich.
That's why Prohibition started. That guy died.
What?
Sandwich prohibition.
Yeah, I watched
The
that
hardest
Ken
time.
Burns documentary. I know all
I
about
don't
it.
have the
Sandwich
time to
Prohibition.
watch all 12
Sandwich
parts of
prohibition
it.
would be a good name for a band, maybe?
Sandwich
No.
Prohibition, like a '90s band, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, well, those
mean,
were the
like-
best bands, I think.
90s bands?
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't listen to any music since the music you grew up with. I understand.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
It's what it's,
Okay,
it's
what's your
actually
favorite
true. to
new
most
song?
people.
Yeah, well, that is true for most people, but
It's true for me.
I try to listen to some music of the modern age. I'm actually about 5 years behind, I think. I'm still
I think so too. Yeah.
I'm still
I'm
listening
the same
to
boat.
Imagine Dragons, and
Okay, yeah.
I'm just starting to get into Adele.
right,
Okay, yeah,
right, yeah,
you're
you're
definitely-
pretty
yeah.
far behind. Adele's
And I like that. Oh, I
the
was singing
shit.
that song when we came in. It's like, I'm coming at you like a dinosaur.
yeah.
Are you ready for?
Whoa, watch it.
Wait,
That was
maybe I-
pretty good. I don't want to get
I
demonetized.
love it.
Yeah.
Demonetized.
Ooh, that was nice. Yeah, she does have a lot of reverb in her songs. A lot of echo.
And I know
you
that
guys
the
remember this?
dinosaur song.
We're gonna end on this. You guys remember we used to all live
Oh.
together in a house.
Good job.
Yeah.
And when we lived
Big
in that
old
house, we had these
terrible
house
house.
challenges. Do you guys remember the sandwiches challenge?
No,
You don't remember the
Yes.
I actually genuinely don't. I will once you start talking about it. I remember,
So
like,
the
double
challenge
like,
was
milk
the challenge began. Let me give everybody a little bit of backstory. House challenges in Ice Station Awesome, which was the name of our house. House challenges in Ice Station Awesome, where every Sunday there. I feel like the more I explain this, the more I'm gonna
less
have to
people
explain.
understand.
Yeah.
They
Basic-
they evolved out of Family Home Tuesday.
Right. It was every Sunday was family home evening.
Family Home Evening, right, on Sundays, right.
And none of us were Mormon. If any of you are Mormon and or Latter-day Saints and wanna and wonder why we were doing,
Decided
yeah.
We adopted the
we were
Mormon cultural practice.
we were
of Family Home
appropriating Mormon culture. Yeah. So
because we wanted to all spend more time together as a family.
anyway, so part of Family Home Evening was a house challenge every week, and it was a different house challenge. And one week, our house challenge was this one was going to last a week, and you'll remember this, Ryan. It was we had to replace for a whole week, and we had jobs and life, and we had to do it for a week.
for a week.
Yeah, all nouns. That's pronouns, proper nouns, all nouns. We were not allowed to use those nouns. We had to replace those, whatever
didn't do
those
it for a
words were,
week.
with the word sandwich. Yes, we did do it for a week, and you had 3 strikes.
I must have gave up
I
pretty
remember
quickly.
this.
I don't remember doing it for a week. I remember doing it only for playing a game of.
Well, that was the
Settlers
Ryan.
of Catan.
well, we
Ryan,
had so that
think
was the
about
thing.
yourself for a moment. You're the kind of person who would pretty quickly realize that this is silly and a bad idea, and would
No,
quit
and I feel like we
doing
would have done it for a day. I would have said like a day. Yeah.
No,
You probably did it for a day. I think the rest of us probably did. For a week.
before you're right,
way.
Ryan. There was a game of Settlers of Catan involved because we knew
I
we-
distinctly remember that.
we recognized right away that one of two things were going to happen. Either all of us were going to get taken out immediately, or everyone was going to make it to the end of the week without being taken out. And we were just going to be in a stalemate because somebody had to win. And here we go, another thing that I'm not going to have time to explain, but because if you won the house challenge, you got some doubloons. Which were
Which
our
were pennies that we crushed with the train that was right immediately in front of our house.
right. It was a household currency.
They were
But-
kind of sharp.
Yeah, but
We were
anyway,
kind of like a cult.
so we
We
had
were like a wacky cult.
so we had to figure out a way who was going to win. So the way we did that was we devised that by the end of it, whoever was in, and all of us were still reportedly in. It was kind of on the honor system, but whoever was still in, we were going to play a game of Settlers of Catan and still play by the rules. So in Settlers of Catan, you're trading resources, right? Like wood, sheep, grain, whatever, bricks.
Grain?
Yeah,
bricks?
and
Grain,
and
bricks.
rocks.
Bricks and Settlers of Catan, are there?
Well, there's clay
There's
that
not
makes bricks.
rocks.
Yeah, there is
No,
stone. I literally play Settlers
Stone.
Catan. At least I had to use the word sandwiches, so it was quite fun. We had hand gestures, some obscene, some not.
I don't remember the hand gestures. I have something to reveal when it's my time.
Yeah,
it's
well,
gonna be
that's a good timing because here
I
we
don't
go.
believe we did that for a week. I still don't believe that.
You know, kind of a share.
So, what do you want to reveal yourself to us, EJ?
So, what I
Don't
want to talk
reveal
about
yourself
today,
to us. We're on YouTube.
I want to talk to you about my mind word, my brain word, and I just I wouldn't have known this before you talked about our sandwich week.
Okay.
But now I think you might have helped me have a psychological breakthrough and realize something about myself, because I have this thing. It's like when I'm, it's really difficult to explain this to you, but like whenever I'm trying to think of something, or trying to be creative or trying to remember something or whatever, there's like a series of words that always kind of like cycle through my brain. Just it's almost like a boot cycle or something. Like, and the first word, like almost always, the very first word that I ever think of is always sandwiches.
What?
Really?
Yes, and I'm really starting to wonder if you didn't brainwash me.
No, it's weird because like you had mind
that.
word in the notes already, American, but it didn't have sandwiches there. Like, were you just gonna like?
Well, that's why I chose
wonder-
that for this topic. Yeah.
Oh,
because
so it already
every
had
time
sandwiches in there. I don't remember seeing that. Okay, I thought
I
that
don't
like
know if it's in the
weird thing just happened.
doc, but
It is
for
in the doc.
sure-
It's a testament to the veracity of the story he's telling right now.
No, we can
Like,
change the
for
doc. I thought
sure.
he edited it.
I saw it earlier.
I mean, in fact, I've set like like cheesy passwords that you don't care about, like for Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
tell us.
like if you have Wi-Fi and you want to share it with people, I always use sandwiches as my password. Every time I sit down and I have a blank, because when I'm writing a script or writing anything, I'll often type sandwiches at the top while I'm just kind of getting settled into the.
Oh
into
yeah,
the
okay. So I know exactly what you're
mindset
talking
of
about. My
writing.
mind word is poop. It's when
Okay.
I'm just not
That's
thinking
a-
and I'm just typing or writing or just like my brain is just without telling me putting something out just to have my body or stuff moving and going onto paper. It's always poop.
That's probably a popular one, and it might have been mine before you all brainwashed me into making it sandwiches. Ryan, do you have a mind word?
No, can't think of one.
Ryan's a clean slate. That means we could program you, Ryan. Are you ready to
No,
receive
I don't think
programming?
that's how it works. I think I'm resistant to your dumb having to put sandwiches at the top of documents before I start working on something.
Bobby, pick a mind word for Ryan. Let's try to brainwash him.
No,
right now
don't
on the
do
air.
that. It's not
Toast,
gonna work.
toasters.
Pick one. Toasters, Ryan. Toasters. Toasters. From now on, whenever the first thing you think
Don't
of, will
yell
always
it
be
at me.
toasters.
Instead, my mind word's gonna be you yelling it at me. It's gonna be a mind sequence.
It has to be intensely emotional experience for the programming to take.
You made me blow snot out my nose.
I understand.
We usually call that blowing our nose. It's the polite thing to say.
Oh, he was taking a
What if we
drink.
were
at
all
the
more
time.
honest about that?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I gotta blow snot out of my nose.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta push poop out my hole. Yeah.
What the hell? That really
I
is your
guess
word.
poop is your thing. Yeah.
All right.
Oh man.
Weird. No, I don't have a word like that. Nothing comes to mind.
Why is my mic crackly?
It's just the
How
same.
can I possibly
It's the same crackly you were having before. It's
I don't want it though.
It's over Discord. So
It's that Scarlet.
So, it is this freaking Scarlet. I could try unplugging it, replugging it. Okay, talk about something for approximately 30 seconds.
so
When I go to sleep every night, a brief this is dumb, so I'm gonna share it. A brief image of unsheathing a sword always comes into my mind, and that's a weird
ooh,
mind thing.
there's something Freudian going on there.
I missed the beginning.
If you want to make
When
a
you
thing
think
out of
what,
that, sure.
What makes the sword? What makes your sword?
Just going to sleep. Like when I lay in
Oh.
bed, when I close my eyes and it's
Yeah.
dark, that's just the first image.
Yeah, that's when he unsheaths his sword. So
Oh, he did that thing where he stood up on the bed in a sword fight. Ryan, I think you're a warrior.
sword is
Your
your
true
mind
spirit is a-
thing.
Yeah, you're a sword man.
Sure.
Swordsman.
My mental image of God, whenever I think of God, my mental image of God is King Friday the 13th from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't have put that name on it, but that is definitely the image I have of God as well.
Like if it's one of the because I don't have a very strong visual imagination,
Right.
but I could very quickly and easily imagine what King Friday the 13th / God looks like
Yeah.
in my head.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I don't
then- so-
visualize
okay.
stuff very much.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is great. This is exactly what I want to start talking about. So I wanted to ask you both. First of all, do you have a visual imagination, which is to say, when you close your eyes, can you like actually see things in your imagination?
If I try,
I think so.
but not like readily.
I mean, I've heard people talk about this like that question before, and I always wonder is like I think I see things, but does everybody else see things more vividly than me? I don't know. But yes, I can imagine, I can picture things in my mind, yes.
It's always kind of hazy unless it's something like really like distinct for me.
Right.
I basically can see nothing except for like there's one period of time when I really can see things, which is like right before I fall asleep, and I think I'm just basically starting to dream because I'm never like lucidly thinking when it happens. But essentially, when I close my eyes, I just see black, and that's all.
Oh my God, are you a psychopath?
I have this thing in the very back of my mind. I'm a visual psychopath. I have no visual empathy. No, it's like in the very, very, very deepest back of my mind, I can like kind of like not really see something, but there's like data that's like sort of visual, but it's not like the same as seeing something. And I thought that's what everybody
Like the
meant
Matrix?
when they. It's kind of like the Matrix. Yeah, it's like a ghosty. It's impossible for me to describe because it's not really like vision. You know what I'm saying?
Mine's
It's just
kind of like
this thing-
through a curtain most of the time. Like if I close my eyes and really focus on I want to see a particular image, it's like not necessarily direct. It's there and I know it. Like I can see the image, but it's not like
Like you're peeking at people through a curtain, like you're a voyeur or something.
no. Like this is straight up as a curtain of black. It's like
That's
like
interesting.
it's not peeking through. It's like it's just kind of there. It's obscured.
Sure.
Well, yours is more developed than mine.
Right.
Like Luna says that when she closes her eyes, if she wants to imagine something, she could just like make it appear.
Is she an artist?
Almost
I
like
think a lot of
virtual
people
reality.
believe
She is an
that,
artist,
but
yeah.
necessarily, yeah, but like she probably does. I'm not saying she doesn't, but I think
feel-
a lot of people believe that.
I don't know.
I've heard a lot of artists say that before, that they can very vividly picture things in their minds, and you know maybe that's what draws them to be artists. I don't know.
Like so some people say, and I've seen. I don't know if it's like scientific, so forgive me if this is pseudoscience. I don't know, but some people say that if you do these visual exercises, where you like, because you can like rub your eyes and see these floaties, or if you look at an eye, and
Yeah.
if you look at a light and close your eyes, you can see these floaties, and you just try to imagine what they're shaped like, and you can you could sort of like start to change, like try to change the shapes or identify what the shapes. You start by just identifying what things look like, almost like looking at a cloud and being like, oh, that looks like, you know, whatever. So I've actually been doing these exercises for now it's been about 4 months maybe. And I can honestly, like seriously, I could take like a circle, because usually if I look at a light bulb, it's a circle. And I could turn it into like a triangle or a star.
Okay.
And it's really cool. It's almost like hallucinating. It's really weird. So I've actually made some kind of progress. I
Yeah.
could
Close
definitely
your
not do that
eyes,
before.
Not the actual like light spot.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about
it's after
though,
I close my eyes, yeah.
because when I close my eyes, especially after looking at a light, you know, you've got that weird burned in after image, and it
Yeah.
will change shapes if I stare at it long enough behind my eyelids.
You could
know?
do it consciously. You could do it consciously, and I've done it. Now, apparently, if you do this for long enough, and it might take me years, but if you do this long enough, you will eventually start to be able to generate shapes and stuff yourself, and then over time, you turn it into. And that's apparently what people who are visual thinkers, who have visual imagination, apparently that's what they see. They don't see it like in this deep, weird data stream or whatever. They say they see things right in front of them, and I've kind of slightly reproduced that effect, but just very slightly.
And then
it's taken
eventually you'll
months
be
just
able to build
make a
your
triangle.
mind palace.
You can do that
That's
already.
what
it's
I'm
just
saying.
words.
No, seriously, because Ryan, do you know what a mind palace is?
Yes. Well, I
Mind
know
Palace? Yeah.
versions of Mind Palace.
You know, for listeners who might not know, mind palace is this idea of building a structure or something in your mind that helps you. It's a memory tool.
Usually it's your route to work, and you connect things on the route.
Right.
Yeah, people say that it's one of the most powerful memory techniques, and I've read a lot of books about memorizing and stuff because I have a terrible memory, and I've tried to do this memory palace thing many times, and it doesn't work for me. And I'm beginning to believe that it's because what I heard was it's your childhood home, because like most people can really
Sure, yeah.
remember very distinctly their childhood home.
I can't do
And
that.
so I
at
try
all.
to, I could actually kind of like I know my childhood home very well, and I could kind of slightly I think memories from my childhood are a little bit easier for me to kind of visualize, but more recent stuff it's almost impossible. So anyway, but I'm hoping that if I can do this, it'll like unlock new potential in my life in so many different ways. And anyway, you guys want to join my cult?
Maybe you've
All you
got
got to do
brain-
is stare at light bulbs every day.
maybe you've got brain damage.
No, I mean it's definitely like a. I don't know if you'd call it like a. Is it? I think it might be like a neurodivergence.
So
something?
Certainly
You know what
our brains are wired to find
I have no
patterns,
idea.
and that's how we can mix, like imagine things and stuff like that. But so maybe you just have a broken brain. That's all.
I have a.
That's
brain-
all.
That's
His
for sure.
brain's
In
the
many
same
ways,
as ours.
I have
Like,
many problems.
No, that's why I said maybe he
you're-
has brain damage. His brain is
He's just trying
deficient.
to push us out of
It's
this
a
conversation.
defective.
Yes, I have a lot of. Yes, No kidding.
Yeah.
I've got like depression, ADHD, and I can't visualize
God,
things.
this is getting too real.
Well, you did this. It's your fault, Bobby.
No, I mean it's like, yeah, I have a lot of problems with my brain.
All right.
Like, verifiably. All right, I got one more thing if you want it, or we can move on. It's up
Let's
to
do
you.
it.
I
Let's
also
do it.
on
Well, if
the
Ryan's got
thing
something.
about the mind palace and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
do you guys do the thing when you're like going to sleep or sleeping? Like, you're supposed to like look at watches or like look at numbers to see if you're actually dreaming.
I've heard that,
Yeah,
yes.
I know what you're talking
the
about.
lucid dreaming
'Cause
thing.
I've
It's just
tried it.
when I'm dreaming, I can't remember to reality check.
I think
My
about
problem
it
is,
all the
go ahead,
time, and I
Ryan.
still don't do it. And then sometimes it works.
really, it works for you sometimes.
Yeah, but I also think about it all the damn time.
Yeah, so the idea is
That's
supposed
my-
to be that you have these things that you check, like you said, looking like Ryan, looking at the time on a clock, because presumably,
I hold up 3 fingers.
Yeah,
and I check,
holding up
like, I
fingers.
Look back.
yeah, or trying to read text, or just looking around you and sort of like testing the whether the things around you make sense. And the idea is that if you regularly get in the habit of doing these reality tests all the time while you're awake, then presumably while you're sleeping as well, you will try to do these tests and catch yourself in a dream because something won't make sense, and you'll be able to more readily and easily acknowledge and figure out, oh, I'm in a dream. And then if then you can manage not to wake up, then you can fly. That's what isn't that what every lucid dreaming enthusiast is just trying to do? They're just trying to fly.
I mean, yeah, the few times that I have lucid dreamed, I definitely flew
Yeah.
every single time.
That's
Yeah,
the-
but
that's
my
the
problem
end
with doing
game.
that technique is I can't. I have the opposite problem of you, I guess, Ryan, because like I can't ever remember to do the checks every day.
That's my problem.
I don't do them in person. That's the thing. Like, that's why it's only kind of works for me, because I always think about it, but I never do it, and I never actually do it. So I can be in a simulation and not realize it because I never do the test.
You're not committed enough.
I'm not.
You're like,
still
I
think
could
I'm
look
like-
at my watch right now, but
Because I definitely like.
I don't want to fly
I'm
that.
watching
wires
Netflix.
Sorry to them. Like, it shouldn't be an embarrassment kind of thing. Like,
I like the idea that I don't feel like flying right now.
yeah.
Flying can wait.
You're just
I-
that's
I-
how lazy you are.
I disdain to glance at my watch.
Yeah.
See, I see it as the opposite, where it'd be like a Twitch fails when they fall out of a chair, but I just go straight up and hit the roof.
Ryan, this always happens. Every time.
Oh, I'm dreaming.
What was the other thing you wanted to talk about, EJ?
Oh, so it's just real quick. It's kind of another. It's very related to the visual imagination. So, do you have an internal dialogue in your head? Do you think your
Like
thoughts
a
auditorily?
running dialogue.
Yeah, I think
Like
I have a
right
very
now,
strong.
while we're talking?
I'll set it up for you. Yeah, like I have a very strong. I have an almost non-existent visual imagination, but I have a very strong auditory imagination. I can imagine songs playing in my head, and it's almost like listening to the track.
I can't do
You know what I'm
that.
saying? And every thought I ever have, I hear it in my head. And when I'm reading a book, I read every little word, like in my head.
Not me. It's all straight from my brain to my mouth,
so
right
weird
to
to me.
you.
That's so weird to me. It's like I can't. It's like I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like it's so hard for
yeah.
me to imagine that. I do believe
So-
you, but I'm just saying it's so hard.
So
for
are
me
you
to-
saying like in a conversation, like you said, right now, it's like your brain is. So it's almost like you're testing what you're going to say before you say it,
no?
or
It's literally
just-
real
just
time. It's
do
real
it.
time.
so
yeah.
you can hear yourself thinking it, so to speak,
Yes.
It's
while
like the
you're also
feedback in your
saying it.
cans on your headphones that I have.
Yeah,
going
I
on
don't
my
know
voice.
how any.
Yeah. So is it like
Yes.
you're always wearing monitor headphones at audio monitors?
Yes, it
Huh.
is. It is. Except that the sound that I hear isn't my real voice, but it's the voice that I hear in my head because that's the voice that I'm so used to.
Yeah, not if you're.
And I don't know how anyone like I can't. I have no way to conceive or imagine of how anyone else thinks.
That's what
Because
happened.
It's like
EJ.
so important to me.
That's what happened. This internal narrator went into your head and killed the visual effects artist.
Oh no!
And
There was a
visual
coup.
effects artist.
yeah. the animator.
The ear people had a coup against the
Yeah.
eye people.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's really what it is. Maybe you just have a really strong auditory center in your brain that that just took over. I don't know.
I mean, I think about it all the time. Like maybe I should have practiced music when I was a kid or something. Maybe I'm like you know what? Have you ever thought about that? Like maybe you are the best person in the world at something, but you'll never know because you like missed your opportunity.
I actually don't think about that.
Maybe you could have been a marathon runner or
I'm not a big believer in
Olympic
like
swimmer.
innate talent. You know,
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
either.
it doesn't matter.
I'm
like
not either.
If you had practiced the thing, it wouldn't be an innate talent. It'd be
Yeah, it's
I
more
didn't- I
about
didn't
like
practice the
it's
right
more
thing.
about branching paths of like possibility and reality.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like if I had just at some point in my childhood chosen this one thing, maybe through certain circumstances, I loved it that much, whatever, my parents just decided they would encourage this one thing. That one thing
Yeah.
I tried would have led me to become the greatest in the world at it.
I
Also,
feel like
innate
he's trying to
talent
talk it
isn't
down
the,
right there.
Well, innate talent isn't the same.
It felt very much like a sarcasm.
Like, yeah, so that's what you're saying? Really?
Well, I'm not talking about innate talent though, but I'm saying like
No, I know
don't
what you're
I'd say
saying.
Some people have like a genetic like mutations that give them like disabilities or abilities that are, you know,
So like innate
that
talent.
most people don't have.
No,
Yeah.
well, this,
So
this
I have a
sound
lot of
thing,
things
like
that-
me and Bobby don't understand it all, but you can actually hear like whole snippets of music or stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. So that would be that seems like it would be very useful for a musician to have
Sure.
that ability.
Sure.
Yeah, to sight read.
But
and
I never
hear it.
learned
Yeah.
music until I was much older. Like, so, you know, it's like I'll never be that good at it. I waited too late in life to start that stuff.
Yeah.
But I always wonder. But yeah, so I don't know how you think. How do you think? I don't understand it. It's so weird to me. How do
I
you
do
think?
think that I one time for the first time I replaced a toilet in our house and it was so easy for me to do. I do think I might have been able to be the best plumber in the world.
For like a minute
Still
there.
can.
No, I mean
Like at that moment you were actively the best plumber in the
yeah, I
world.
was the best at changing a toilet with no training
For that one
for
small
that
window
one
of time.
moment. Yeah, exactly.
You were the best plumber on the planet.
So if I
On
had
December 12th, 2014 at 6 p.m.
right, exactly. That was intense.
Were you thinking about it? You were not thinking in your head like, okay, like this is how I think. I think like, okay, buddy, we're kind of hungry now. What are we gonna have for breakfast? All right, well, we got some cereal. Like that's literally how it goes in my head.
Like Osmosis
Have a-
Jones or something. There's like a thing.
Yeah, and then I'll walk. How is it? See, so it's so funny. Like I feel like you're all.
No,
I know
no,
you're
no.
not.
Okay, so I know exactly what you're
it's
saying.
actually-
Yes.
It's just the way you presented it.
Yeah,
it's like,
No. I just feel like you're lying, and you do the same thing because it's so normal to me. You know what I'm saying? That I can't imagine that you're telling me
That
that
what
don't
you
do it.
just described, yes. If I'm like, what do I want for lunch, and I open the pantry and I'm taking a look, yes, I am thinking aloud, so to speak, in my head. I'm not thinking aloud, but I can hear myself thinking this decision making process for sure.
I'm
yeah.
not though. I'm not. I'm like making visual contact with the items, or I know what items are there, and I might think while I'm walking over, like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have a sandwich. But
Your id completely takes over, and you're just like
well, no, it's not that. It's
crackers.
just there's not a running commentary. It just
Right.
happens.
Ryan, when you read a book, do you hear the words in your head, or do you like just absorb the information? That's the real test.
Absorb
I
the
think.
information. I think.
Yeah, and I definitely am
Yeah,
reading
see-
out loud in my head. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, Ryan, this is where I'm going with this. I think that Ryan is like a superhero to me. Like that's a superpower to me.
No, see,
don't-
that to
I-
me
like-
is like the basis thing, though, because we like that our brains like they're doing stuff ahead of when it happens. Like they've
Mm-hmm.
shown that like your brains already decide what you're gonna do,
Right.
like a milliseconds before you do it, and that includes what you say. So
Right.
it's just I feel even less in control if I don't have a fun interface like you do.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. That's an
what-
interesting
it's
take on it.
It's a grass is always greener situation, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe you think it's cool that I'm hearing all this stuff, and I think it's cool that you don't have to. Because to me, it
I
feels
guess
like
I kinda
your
have a
system's
small
more
voice.
efficient.
I'm reading my grocery list and trying to focus on if I have a voice in my head or not.
Oh, this is good. What are
Yeah.
the first 3 items on your grocery list?
Eggs, bread,
that's a good
rice,
question.
chicken, black beans, yogurt, Pam, stock, apples.
It sounds to me like you're making veggie burgers with some homemade aioli mayo.
I'm not making. It's not a recipe list. It's
I'm just
they're
saying.
all separate items.
Gotta get some Pam
Yeah.
for this
Yeah, so I
aioli.
can stick that in my aioli. Yeah.
Get an 8-inch skillet.
It's on the list. Sorry.
But there are people I've talked to who say that, because I have this conversation with a lot of people, and they're
I
like,
don't really have a voice.
I just look at the words and the information just comes into my head. Like they say it. I've talked about, and the people who tend to say that, they read a lot. A lot of people who read a lot, they do that, and it's more efficient for them because it takes me a long time to read. Because I literally have to go almost.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a really slow reader. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to stop myself from reading too fast and skipping paragraphs. Yeah.
There's this recent thing where they did a study and they were like, Bobby, you sound like you're kind of more similar to me. But you're maybe in the
I
middle.
feel like I'm certainly closer to your side of the spectrum than Ryan for sure.
I thought you were closer to me. You just have a dialogue.
Well, the more we talk about it, I can't hear myself saying the things that I'm saying right now in my head before I say them.
Okay,
So.
you're closer.
And none
to
of us had the visual.
But apparently, there's a study they did, and you know how these studies are. I'm not saying that the study is right or wrong, but there was a study, and they said, oh, most people do have an internal dialogue, and some people don't, or maybe it was the reverse. But anyway, they did a study about internal dialogues, and they found out the numbers on it. And then a lot of shitty people found out about that story, and they were like, oh, the people that don't have an internal dialogue are NPCs, and that tied into that whole NPC meme.
I've heard about this before.
I don't know the NPC meme.
So I'll see if I can. Ryan, can you do a screen share quick? Because I'm slow.
Sure.
Bob, the NPC meme.
I'm looking up. I know your meme, NPC meme.
That'll get
it. It's an edgelordy kind of thing that, generally speaking, they're like, oh, liberals are NPCs. They don't have real consciousness. They're just
middle schooler thing. Like in middle school, I remember thinking about stories on the bus while looking out the window and this. I don't remember NPC, but I always remember thinking about center of the story kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a perversion of that.
These people are saying like anybody who doesn't have an internal dialogue, basically Ryan would be an NPC.
See, I never heard that bit of it.
It's a new thing. It's just started in the past year or so, I guess.
Oh, I know that what you're talking about, because it's basically, instead of what I'm talking about, middle schoolers are oh, I'm the most important, and instead of I'm the PC, this is more other people are NPCs. It's a negative thing.
Yeah, right. It's a very it's honestly kind of a shitty way of looking at the world, because it's those
super
people aren't
shitty.
human beings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it was such a weird take to me, because I've actually thought about this for a long time and talked to a lot of people about it. And to me, the people who don't have an internal dialogue are like superheroes. They seem like they're basically, I feel like they have a better system. So the fact that some people are like, you don't have an internal dialogue, oh, clearly you must be an NPC. That's such a weird, warped way of looking at it, I think.
I've never heard that bit of it. That's weird.
That is weird.
Huh.
Also, I don't think this is what you want.
It's a shit take.
I mean, it's definitely a shit take.
I mean, maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is.
I think it is, but it seems way too complicated for me to read right now.
Okay, Kotaku's one of the lines in the top is part crackpot social theory and part elementary school insult. I mean, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just being shitty for no reason.
It's really bizarre.
And of course,
it's a
it was
way
from
of
4chan.
otherizing.
Yeah. Of course.
People.
Yeah, it's otherizing. Yeah, 100%.
According to the shitty 4chan people, Ryan's an NPC. Sorry, Ryan.
Sorry. Wah, wah. All right, how about this?
And now for something completely different.
We have an email I want to read. You ready? It goes like this.
It sounds serious. You're making it sound serious.
Sounds like he's skipping my segment.
Strap in, boys. Your segment was random sandwich chatting. Isn't that what we've been doing?
Don't call me out like that. What's wrong with you?
Do you have something? I haven't done.
No, not now. Keep on talking. No,
fine.
We're already skipping my segment.
Fine. We're breaking up.
You did your bumper. No, you can't do a double bumper.
Dear JBYC
it's
panel.
A double rubber baby bumper.
Double rubber Bobby bumper. Dear JBYC panel, what is your favorite discontinued junk food, and how do you satisfy those cravings now?
Oh my god. I relate to this one so hard because basically all junk food that I love is discontinued because I live in Vietnam.
That doesn't. No, hold on. You can use it like that if you want to, but that's not the same thing.
It's discontinued from my life.
Yes, it's unavailable.
That's fair, I think, because how do you know what's discontinued or not anymore?
Yeah, I don't even. I'm out of touch on what's discontinued. They bring
When
stuff back now.
Yeah, when Bobby brought this up before, I was like, I don't fucking know what's discontinued. What are you talking about?
Well, fortunately,
You
I
know,
got fortunately the internet loves list, and I have a list of 30 discontinued snack foods that will make you feel like a kid again. You ready?
Does it have cheese balls at the top? Am I in the same list?
Well, second item is well, let's jump to number 2 because number 1 is dumb. It's just Reese's Elvis cups. That's just like a promotional thing.
What?
Dumb.
That's my number
Is this
two.
is this a listicle from like 1987?
Clearly Canadian. Is that what your number 3 is?
No, we
Are
have
these
different.
people
We have
from the
different
same list?
lists.
Okay.
Number 2 on mine is Planters cheese balls.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
They still sell
still have
cheese
cheese
balls.
They're just not the Planters cheese balls.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
This
Okay.
list
Yeah.
is this list is weird. I don't like this list.
Pepsi Blue. I never
Did
had
any of
Pepsi
us-
I
Blue.
don't even
I
know.
think I had it, but it was like, that's what, like 92, 91?
Yeah, that was definitely a 90s Pepsi logo
Around the
that's
same
on that
time as
Pepsi
Clear?
bottle. Well, I don't know about.
Juice carton gum.
Yeah, juice carton gum. Do you remember that stuff?
No.
It was just like a milk carton, I guess a juice carton. What? Well, I would call it milk carton. But it's looks like a
Hold
milk
on.
carton. Yeah, come on. And you open it up
No,
and it's
sorry, I
got
didn't
little
say that.
bubble gum balls in it. I don't know. Oreos
Okay, you have to
O's
scroll,
cereal.
like- You have to scroll halfway down this list to start to get to the stuff that I've even heard of.
Dog, do you guys know what this is? I never seen this before. A Taco Bell Bell Beefer?
Bell Beefer.
That sounds like a
Oh, it's a burger from Taco Bell.
Look at this thing. Yeah, yeah. That's
Wait
why.
a
That's why I
minute,
took over.
folks.
I have no idea what this damn thing is.
It looks
I'm
like.
also excited, Ryan.
So for our podcast listeners, it
It's a
looks
sloppy
like.
Joe.
Well, it basically looks like the insides of a
Sloppy
taco
Joe.
on a hamburger bun.
Holy shit! It was on the original 1962 menu. No wonder we don't know what the heck it is.
Speaking of discontinued fast food stuff, did you know that Burger King? Speaking of Burger King, Burger King used to do popcorn shrimp, and
What?
also they do.
Who cares?
They also did table service.
Listen,
Back
I'm
in the day.
sorry, but look at this. Do you know what this is? This is literally what I was going to talk about.
PB
Like-
You know
crisps.
these? Do you remember these?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Guys.
Uncrustables, which chat talked about earlier too. Yeah.
PB crisps were like my favorite thing.
Those are just
in the
those other
world.
cookies. What are those other cookies?
No.
Nutter butters.
No.
Nutter butters are
they're
good
not.
though.
They're not cookies, Bob. They are bite-sized snacks, and they have sweet buttercream on the inside and a crispy cookie on the outside. You don't understand.
So like
these were-
like a Nutter butter.
They were
No.
expensive. They were
You're just
expensive.
doing that on
They were
purpose.
like
Don't let them goad you into it.
in the mid 90s. I mean, I guess. Oh, look, 1992, early 90s. Okay. And
Shark
they went out in
bites.
94. These bad boys were like $3 or $4, and I would have to like beg my mom to buy them for me, and she seldom did. And
I
when she did,
don't think I
I'm
ever
so
had them.
happy.
PB
I'm
crisps.
saving this.
I don't remember them.
You're getting saved.
I'm making this my desktop background.
That's amazing. I was thinking about
Bites,
them.
That's right. Oh, do they
Shark
make
bites were good.
do they make gushers anymore?
Yeah, they have to.
I
do.
loved going to Ryan's house
the
and
only
playing
ones that
video
survived.
games because Ryan's
like-
family always had gushers.
Yeah, I know. And those are the premium, the real ones, the name
Yeah.
brand gushers too.
Oh,
The gushers, here's my theory, and I don't know, maybe we could find this out, but I feel like gushers are like Darwinistically the fruit snacks that survived because they were the superior fruit snacks. Like everybody wanted fruit snacks, and so
Yeah.
like with the survival of the fittest, gushers survived and they lived on.
no,
Yeah.
Welch's.
But, no, you know
fruit
what?
snacks, the
But-
generic ones, they're the best.
I don't believe in fruit snack evolution though because Haribo exists and it's so strong, and Haribo's gummy
Haribo's
bears
too
and stuff are they're
they're too-
shit.
Yeah, they're too gummy.
Yeah.
Who likes Haribo? I don't know.
Alice Staley in the chat. I have to give credit to the sloppy Jose in reference to the Bell. What was it? Bell Beefer.
Actually,
That's
yeah.
pretty good. Her. Thank you.
Well, any name is better than the Bell Beefer.
The Bell
I think
Beaver,
Bell Beaver is
the
actually a
sloppy
really
Jose.
good name.
But
It's
also,
just such
she
a good
says,
name.
why has this sandwich podcast pivoted to burgers? Hello. Are we going to have this
A burger
conversation?
is
A
a
burger is a
sandwich.
sandwich.
No, it's a sandwich. Done.
Yeah. Okay, we're not
A
having this
burger is
conversation.
it's a hamburger sandwich.
Surge was discontinued. So that's, yeah.
The
Ecto
the Ecto
coolers.
One cooler is probably the most famous one.
Oh,
mind.
Fruitopia.
What was Utopia?
Do you remember the
juice
squirts?
drink.
The
Yeah, I
squirts?
remember the squirts.
Oh, like
I had them
the
just the other day.
the plastic
the-
top on it.
The Kool-Aid squirts. Yeah. It was
We
just
call
a
them the Hershey
freaking-
squirts here.
It was a
Did we?
tiny
Did
bottle
we?
of sugar. The children drank.
Tiny bottle of
remember those?
sugar.
Yeah, it was just like pure sugar.
No, I don't.
And they gave it to you. You don't remember? You'll remember. It was like a lunchtime. It was a trade item.
You remember everybody
In the
carried
lunchroom
around
behind it.
Altoids cans all the time?
Yes, because that
People
was
still
high
do
school
for
weirdness.
like what do you call it? They're
For E?
like survival kits and stuff.
They
Bursts.
put their
they were called
ecstasy in it.
bursts.
I don't remember bursts.
Hold on, I'll show you a little screen. A
Ooh,
screeneroo.
Dunkaroos. Those are discontinued?
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I thought you were talking about. They have the. I always thought the twisty thing at the end looked like a spaceship, like a.
Yeah, I used to pretend that they were spaceships in
Yeah,
class.
me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me
for
too.
sure.
Failed.
Yeah. Oh, those. You're
some-
talking
I got
about.
some more.
Yeah, Kool-Aid. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, they did look like spaceships. You're right. See?
Which one of those is my favorite? I don't know.
Hmm?
That was the
How many
question. The
calories
question
are in
was
this
which
bad
one
boy?
was your favorite discontinued food?
Wait a minute. These
Dunkaroos,
have
actually.
artificial sugar.
Oh my god.
I don't think they all
Oh my
did. This one
God.
does though. It's only got 20 calories. They're giving that to kids.
Oh yeah. Did you remember Lifesavers holes?
No.
Yes.
I do remember Four Locos though.
It's like the Lifesavers
Four Locos, yeah.
in the R&D department at the Lifesavers company. They were like, we're always competing with the donut people. They've got the same basic shape as our candy. How can we get ahead in the
It was
market?
Maybe they really did have all those holes laying around for like decades. What are we gonna do with all these Lifesavers holes?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
What's this warehouse full of?
I don't know. That's what
What
they
do we
said
put
in the
this
boardroom.
warehouse? Why is it always full of these boxes? That's where we keep the holes, sir.
It took them 30 years to come up with that idea.
Yeah, that was long.
We're starting to run out of floor space, Kevin. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have room to manufacture Lifesavers anymore.
All
Look at all these
right.
holes. We're up to our necks in holes.
All right, that music means it's the end of the show. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us, live listeners, and those at home. We love you too. Thanks for downloading the show and listening. So, as you know, this week's theme was sandwiches. If you want to vote on what the show's future theme is going to be, yes, you're going to head on over to our Discord server where we put the poll up. We also put it out on Twitter at JBYC Show. And speaking of that,
I never
we,
looked at this ahead of time. I have no idea what it is.
yeah, we have already figured out what the next thing is going to be. And
Why do you have
it
this
is-
ready? What are you doing?
I've got it ready. It's right here. It's episode 13 is going to be spaceships, a show all about spaceships.
We were just talking about spaceships, Ryan.
Spaceship
Uh-oh.
Like
Earth?
burst spaceships.
It's
Oh, yeah,
like
that's it.
it
Burst
was
ships.
meant to be. So it's already been decided.
They're like
Spaceships.
Klingon or
So
whatever.
tell us what you want to talk about having to do with spaceships. We'll try to come up with stuff on our own, but we love to do it. But you know what? We don't just arbitrarily come up with what's going to be on the poll that you're about to get. Like, you're going to see that on social media, and there's going to be 4 things on it, and we didn't just come out of those didn't just come out of our minds. You know how we decide?
You decide.
That's right. You guys decide in the after party of JBYC. So every time we stream on Monday nights, we have an after party after the recording, and the people who show up live get to help us decide what's going to be on that thing, and that's you guys. So find us. Email us. We love to hear from you guys. Our email and Twitter is at jbyc.net. Watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/JBYC show every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, or listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. My name is Bobby. Below me is Ryan. And over there in the booth is EJ.
The edge.
The
Said below me.
Edge. Yeah, below me. All right. See you later, guys. Bye
Nobody's
bye.
gonna buy the holes, Kevin. You're fired.
Maybe I shouldn't have fired that guy.
These holes are selling like hotcakes.